Welcome back, everybody, to our favorite tool time series, where your favorite doctors Irina and Susan bring you information on AI platform. So imagine that you maybe came home from a long shift, or you're a new provider, and you just took a patient that has a very interesting and maybe less known disease or a new medication, that you were prescribing, and you wanted to go back and make sure that what you did was correct, but you needed evidence-based information. Meet your new best friend, Perplexity, the evidence expert. Perplexity is an AI search that was created for really what it is we need in medicine, which is evidence-based information. It provides citation in real time, and it answers your questions from verified resources. So it's ideal for nursing practice, for medical practice, anytime you're looking for evidence-based. It always cites their information, which is very unusual for all the other AI platforms that we discussed. And it's amazing for real time. So like I can imagine people using Perplexity maybe on the floor when you're in between patients and you need to check something and you want to, really reliable evidence-based information. So Susan, let's discuss Perplexity's strength.
Yeah, and like it's noted that, unlike, the other AI chatbots and tools that we've been discussing, is that Perplexity actually shows its sources. And one of the things is that some of those other AI tools do show sources, but they're not reliable. Many of them, they're non-existent. They're a hallucination, but not with Perplexity. So every fact that it comes up with links back to an actual real article or a study. So this is perfect when you're looking to use it for lit reviews, policy updates, or even clinical teaching. So, you can give the prompts to Perplexity as to summarize research from 20 to 25 on nursing burnout. And again, it's not only summarizing the research, it's giving you the links to those articles that it used. It's great in finding evidence-based sepsis management guidelines or any type of guidelines, ANA guidelines for, patient safety or fall risks. And then you can use it for comparing state policies on telehealth nursing.
Yeah,
And
and I
like,
would say, yeah.
and like anything, we have strengths, but we have weaknesses.
Weaknesses. Yes. So weaknesses. When I took research in graduate school, Susan, I learned this phrase, and it says garbage in, garbage out. And I had no idea what it meant. But in data, what it means is that if you uploaded something wrong, then you're going to get something wrong in the back. So the weakness of Perplexity is that its strength is it provides like real time data that it finds online, but it also could be weakness because if it goes to the source that maybe is not reliable, or maybe it also cannot go into the publications that are paid for. So if you have to pay to read an article, it cannot find it. So it is limited to what is available, and not everything that's available is necessarily accurate. So even though you can find, up to date, let's say, information, and it thinks it's evidence-based and it can summarize it and does it very well, it still cannot, you still have to verify it because you can't be sure that it provides an accurate information.
Yeah.
It is also not that best in analyzing. So, for example, I'm sorry, it's better at analyzing, but not as good as interpreting data.
Right.
So if it found maybe 20 articles on, let's say, nursing burnout, it can summarize, but it might not necessarily interpret exactly what each article said. So you still have to, utilize your brain, hopefully, and go a little deeper.
Yep.
And again, it really depends on the source and quality of the source. So it's not like doing a deep dive into PubMed. It's a little bit less rigorous, but from all the AI platforms that we learn today, the ChatGPT, Copilot, DeepSeek, this is the one that has most of kind of evidence-based information.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Now we know the strengths and weaknesses. We can see how can we use it as nurses. So we can certainly use it to summarize current guidelines for hypertension management, fall prevention strategies. It's a great way to use it for evidence-based tables for CE or QI projects. And I like it, to verify drug interactions or patient education materials with references. And I think you stressed this, Irina, very well, that is that we have to verify those references. We just can't take them just because they're written and copy and paste. So we do have to make sure that the citations correlate with what we're looking for. I think that's the important piece. So I love this is that if you remember, Perplexity is your go-to tool for nurses who love facts and not so much fluff.
Right. Yeah. And just again, we discussed this over and over again, but prompts are very important. What it is that you're asking, because if we go back for a second and um, if you say summarize new research on nursing burnout, like what is new? You can think of the past 10 years or only in the last year. We don't know. So you have to be very specific to say, for example, summarize research from 2020 to 2025. So prompts are important. And also, even though it shows you the citation, um, it's not necessarily always evidence-based. So maybe it found a white paper that was written by somebody, but it's not a study, but it can cite it and you can say, oh, there's citation, there's author, it's published. So you really have to still do your legwork. But to me, I feel like all of these AI tools just save me hours and hours
Absolutely.
of like
Yeah.
searching, finding. I
Yeah.
remember when I did my literature review first time without AI, I mean, I'm talking weeks,
Of
weeks of
course.
finding, reading. Now it could, I could do it in hours,
Yes.
but still verifying and
Yeah.
and of course, making sure that I'm doing the work. As I said, like I love the name. We are talking about Perplexity, but co-pilot meaning that you're the pilot and this is a co-pilot, so you're always in control.
Yep.
So this, my friends, is a wrap in terms of the 6 AI platforms that Susan and I have provided for you, and we hope that you enjoy them. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be bringing a lot more to you. Find us on LinkedIn and Facebook by typing hashtag nurses for AI or hashtag nurses for artificial intelligence. Susan and I will be very happy and honored to answer any of your questions on social media. And please stay tuned as way more tools are coming your way.
See you soon. Thank you.